Welcome to the Vinny Rock Podcast.
Much more than this, I did it my way.
Fucking cough I've been dealing with for the past 3 days. Either way, what's up, man? It's a Vinny Rock Podcast. Obviously, you guys already know. Hey, this is a kind of a quick one. This is me. I got to vent a little bit about some shit that's going down up in this motherfucker. First of all, you guys already know my sponsors. I'm going to hit them real quick, but I'm not going to hit them too hard because what I want to do is really focus on. I just got this weird letter. I'm trying to see what the hell this is. I want to focus on your book, your IG page, and podcast. Praying God bless. And what is this? I just received an envelope. I'm not sure what this is supposed to be for, but okay. Either way. So my sponsorships, you guys, I'm just going to mention a few. Core Medical Group obviously is who supplies me with testosterone replacement therapy and other hormones, and I believe in them. If you guys are a veteran, if you guys are a veteran, law enforcement, if you guys are just a male over 25 and feeling different, I'd say more probably in the 28 range. But if you're just feeling different and you want to go get your blood work done, you should. I think you should. I think you should actually try and do your blood work every year and kind of see where you're at. Honestly, knowing at my age now at 37, at a ripe 37 with all these little medical issues, I think that hands down has been the smartest thing I've ever done to see what's going on with my blood. And you will be surprised if you are someone who's dealt with a lot of stress in your life, and for some reason, our world, our testosterone levels are dropping. Why? I don't fucking know. Blame it on the food. Blame it on anything you want. But all I can say is you guys should seriously pay attention to your blood. And so I just realized what this letter came in for. This letter came in for because somebody wants this Vinny Rock Podcast sticker. How funny is that? And I'm just realizing that. Only one person sent it. Well, she's going to get whatever. So, so you guys check out Core Medical Group. That's all I'm going to talk about right now because I want to jump into this rant or topic of mine. So here in Utah, just so you guys know, before anyone moves here, I think you should know something before you make the decision. And I think moving here, this shouldn't even stop you from moving here, honestly, if this is what your thought is. But Utah is the #1 teen suicide state in the United States. I mean, and this is like years ongoing. And just to kind of be clear here, I don't like bashing any organization. I don't like bashing any religion, anything like that. But it's kind of an obvious reason why when it comes to the culture of and kind of the foundation of Utah and the Mormon culture, religion. I think, man, saying that makes me sound really bad. Like, I don't like to judge anyone. I'm just going to say this. I'm going to say there's a lot of pressures in religion, whether it's Mormon, whether it's Catholic, heavy Catholic, whether it's, some forms of Christianity, whatever it is. And I think that's probably going to be the root of why some of these kids feel if they are not perfect, then they are letting down their parents. And when they let down their parents, sometimes they feel suicidal. They don't fit in. Maybe there's something wrong with them. Maybe they're going to go to hell, right? And not even that. Let's just take away from forget that side. Say, what if you're gay? What if you're homosexual? And obviously that your faith doesn't agree with that, and they say you're going to hell. How does a teenager deal with that? To know that, to be told in their head that there's something wrong with them, and they're going to go to hell anyway. So what's the point? And you're telling someone who can't control who they love, who they're attracted to, but you're going to tell them but if you think that way, you're fucked. And so it's tough, man. It's tough living here and seeing my kids go through this. I've had my oldest daughter now has had several people in her circle, and it's a super scary topic. It's something that's been kind of eating me alive. I've been writing a lot about it. I've been studying a lot about it. And I'm trying to see how I can help put a dent in that, or at least bring to light some things that we can do to help with this. And I tell you what, this is conversations you guys should have with your kids. And I'm telling you right now, some of you are not going to do this. Some of you guys are going to think I'm fucking crazy. Some of you guys are going to be so uncomfortable with this topic that you're not going to even tell your kids, or you're just going to hope to God they don't run into it themselves, right? They don't run into it in their circle. So I'm going to tell you this. Have you had the conversation with your kids? Have you talked to them and let them know that any decision they make, no matter what it is, you're still going to love them? Do they know that? Do they wholeheartedly know that? Have you asked them that? Have you said, I've done this. I'm telling you, I've done this with all my kids. With all my kids that I feel like at the age, I think after 9, I can start kind of communicating with them a little bit more openly. 11, it gets a little bit more. And then at 13, it's full on, like, let's talk. Let's be real and let's be honest. And I told my 13-year-old, I was like, is there anything that in your life that you are uncomfortable talking to me about? And she goes, yes, boys. Okay, cool. That's fine. But can you talk to mom? She goes, yes. I'm like, okay, cool. That's good. At least someone in the household that's an adult that has some kind of sense to them, she's comfortable talking with. And the other thing is, she goes, well, I'm scared if I told you that I felt depressed. And I was like, I was shocked, right? I was stunned. I'm like, what? First of all, in your head, you can think like, why would my 13-year-old girl be depressed, right? Like that's weird. But I'm not going to judge, because I don't want to do that. I want to make her feel bad for that. So I said, okay, hey babe, first of all, it don't matter what it is, you can tell me. And I'm going to, and my answer is always going to be like, okay, what do we need to do next? And like, I had to tell her, I told her that straight up. She said that the whole depressing. I said, okay. I was like, Mama, if you feel that way, I want you to tell me. Because then what I'm going to do is go look for an answer and see why, right? I'm going to either have to take you to the doctor, we're going to have to look at it, and we're going to have to find out what in your life makes you feel that way. Maybe it's hereditary. There's a lot of things, right? There's a lot of things that falls into it. And if you're a parent that you are not open-minded enough to understand, there's so many things. One, a kid is dealing with at that time, 13 years old, going through puberty, she's a girl, so going through the whole, all the hormone changes in her life. Not even that, trying to find a normal, position in her life as a 13-year-old girl in school, not to be judged, not to be made fun of, but also to find comfort in her own skin, going through acne on her face, going from wearing glasses to now wearing contacts. Like, all these things is going through this girl's head. I'm like, I get it. You're allowed to feel weird, but if you feel so uncomfortable and you don't feel comfortable telling me, well, there's something I'm doing wrong as a parent. I want my kids to tell me. I want my kids to tell me exactly what's wrong, so I can say, okay, let me find answers. I don't want them to be so afraid of telling me, because they fear I'm gonna freak out. Like, I know I'm a scary dude. Like, to them, they know there's a side of me that is definitely scary. There's an uncomfortable side of me that they've seen, not maybe directed towards them, but directed towards somebody who's either tried to fight me or anything. They've seen the bad side of me. And so sometimes they think that's the side of me that's going to come out, but they don't realize me as a parent, that's not me, right? Me as a parent is, I am here to do nothing more than mentor my kids to be good human beings. I'm here to do nothing more than to teach them about life and not sugarcoat it, right? And not fucking make it comfortable for them, but just tell them how uncomfortable life really is, how unfortunate life can actually be, and how unfair life really, really is. And so I'm not the guy that's going to hide the fucking world to them. I'm the one who's going to open their eyes to that shit before the world fucking shows them, right? I'd rather prepare my kids for the world than the world to surprise the fuck out of them with the reality of it. Do you see what I'm saying? And so I tell my kids everything. Like, I've had this sex talk with my daughters. Oh my goodness, that's weird. Yes, it's uncomfortable. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, it is. And who else is going to do that shit? Their fucking friend? Fuck no. That's not their position. It's mine. I'm the one who's going to be able to teach them the smart things about it. The birds and the bees, man. A male's got a penis and girl's got a vagina. Those words are easy for me to say, but for my kids, when I say them, they giggle, they laugh, they get uncomfortable, they turn red, they blush. They try and stop me from talking. I'm like, no, you have to know this. This is the reality of it. If my 13-year-old daughter came up to me right now and told me she was pregnant, I'd say, okay. I would be, one, obviously disappointed because as a father, I try and raise my kids to have a lot of self-respect. And I try and teach my daughters and sons to know that like sex is not something you need to even deal with right now at your age. You know what I mean? I don't think anyone's mentally, I don't think I was ready to handle sex until I was 30. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm going to make sure that they're smart about everything they do. They obviously know all the ins and outs of what it's about. And that sex is something that should be between two people and it's very special. And so, but if she did for some reason, right? Maybe for some reason, if I kids have their own mind, they make their own mistake, and she says that she's pregnant at 13, you think I'm going to get mad? No, I can't. Who the fuck did she come to for that? She trusted me to say, hey, Dad, I'm pregnant. I'm going to do my best to be a father and mentor her in what the next decision is. I personally don't believe in abortion. I just don't. I wouldn't even bring up that conversation with my daughter either. I'd go straight to the doctor and say, yes, she's pregnant. I'd say, how healthy is it for a 13-year-old girl to have a baby? That's what I'd start doing the process. They say, everything's fine. Sounds good. When she has that baby, I'll just take it over for now until she's ready to have that kid. Well, I'm a parent. I'm going to help. I'm going to help in any way, shape, or form. I'm not going to enable, right? She's going to know how that shouldn't have happened and how does she put herself in a position for this, and that I've taught her better than that, but at the same time, it's not the time for me to shun her from the family, kick her out, and send her on the way and start slut shaming her. Like that's not my plan. And again, some of you guys are gonna be like, "That's crazy." Like, no, man, this is how I handle it. This is how I would handle it. My daughter, I've told her, my 6-year-old, I said, "Hey, dude, you don't think I'm gonna get surprised if you say you're pregnant. Don't think I'm gonna get surprised if you say you're a lesbian. Don't think I'm gonna be surprised if you say you're depressed and you're suicidal." No, I'm already prepared myself mentally for every possible scenario in my life, and I'm okay with it, and I'm going to work through it, and I have answers for those. This is part of who I am, man. If you guys read my book, man, I think of every scenario, everything, and I prepare myself mentally for that, so it doesn't surprise me. And so when it happens, I'm like, okay, we can handle this. As a family, we work together through this. I think kids don't have that these days, right? They don't have that support system. And I'm not talking about being their fucking friends. No, my kids know I'm not their goddamn friends. My kids know there's definitely a fine line between who I am and who they are and the laughter that we have. There's a time and place for everything. There's a time where we're just having fun as a family, and then there's times when I'm the disciplinary and you already know your position. You're wrong, you're wrong. You're right. They know this stuff, right? These are my kids. This is how I've instilled in them. But you have to understand, I'm prepared for life. And if any of you guys out there right now are not fucking prepared for life, what the fuck are you doing? You're not prepared for the unfortunate to happen at any moment. You don't think I wake up every day looking at my phone expecting like there's going to be someone else who probably commits suicide. There's going to be someone else who dies of heart failure. There's going to be someone else that dies of just plain old age. In my life, in my world, in my circle, it's going to happen. It's just it's a numbers game, and lives, people don't take care of the bodies the way they should, and just the way life is. If you're not prepared for that, you're going to be hurt even more. You're going to be caught off guard. The reality of it is that's life. As unfortunate as it is, and your kids should expect the same thing, that it is going to be hard, and things like this is part of life, and there's still light at the end of the tunnel for everything, no matter what situation happens in my life with my kids or whatnot, they know that I'm prepared for it. I'm prepared to handle it in the most appropriate manner possible, and at the same time, they also know they have a support system here that's never going to turn their back on them. Ever going to turn their back on them. Right? Here's what faith says. Faith says if you do this, you're right. If you're gay, it's a sin. But here's the other thing. So is thinking sexual thoughts. That's a sin, right? Like all kinds of stuff is a sin. There's no one sin that's freaking higher on the scale. Like, oh, that's a really, really bad sin. Like, no, they're all sin. Any way you put it. So we're all sinners. We already know that. So if it's on a faith scale, who cares? Cool. You're a sinner, so am I. Next. What now? How do we work on just being better people? And so, like, that's the thing, man. Like for me, these teen suicide is crazy, and I would love to try and help stop it, right? I'm scared for my own family, right? I'm scared for my own kids to hear the conversation and think like, oh, well, that's an option. Like, bullshit. No, it's not. So I hope you fathers and mothers out there take the opportunity just to talk to your kids and let them know that you're there, that you support them, that you trust them. Well, that you at least will be there to support them in the time of need at any time. You know what I mean? I don't ever want there to be a moment where my kid doesn't feel comfortable asking me a question, talking to me about anything. They know to bring it to me. And I've had it all. Well, the other day we're driving by and there was a horse outside and my son goes, "Ew, Dad, that horse has something hanging out. It's really long." I'm like, "That's his penis." And he goes, "That's really long." I'm like, "Yeah, that's his penis. I don't know what to say." You already know what a penis is used for. It's for procreation, for having kids. And so the horse has to, have sex with the other horse. And so, that's just the biology of it. I don't know what else to say. And he's all uncomfortable laughing and everything. And part of me is laughing inside too, because it's just a funny conversation to have with your son. And then sit there and think like, well, that's good. He heard it from me. He had a question, and I answered it, and I didn't sugarcoat it, I didn't hide it and say, well, that's his dingle bits, and those dingle bits are a special thing, and those things hold his urine. Like, oh, dude, I'm not gonna. Why do I need to sugarcoat that? The kid's gonna hear from his friend anyways, and when he gets older, they're gonna make horse fucking penis jokes. So I thought it'd be best for them to learn it from me. I don't know, man. I just feel so convicted in this world that I feel so bad for some of the parents that have to deal with this. I feel so bad for my own kids that have to run into this. And I'd rather be in the position to teach them and prepare them for that early on before it surprises them. And to let them know, one, that's obviously not healthy, and that's not normal, and it's not okay. But also, two, like, if it does happen, there's a family thing that needs to be, addressed, and there's a conversation that needs to be had. And us and our family, we do our best to try and combat that with as much open communication as possible. And also to let them know that they're cool. They're good. No matter what, man, no matter fucking what, my kids still have me and their mom, and we are going to be behind them as much as possible to support them and to be able to, it's a trip. It's a tough conversation. I just know my kids, I just need to make sure my kids knew that no matter what decisions they make, it will not take away from how much love I have for them. As long as my kids are not hurting someone, I can be comfortable with it and we can move forward with it. I guess that's the easiest way to put it. And all of you out there that are veterans, you guys already know we have the same issue in our world with veterans. And I really think it stems from, just kind of a handful of issues. I think drinking is one. I think drinking and addiction, I think drinking and addiction gets to a point where, you start making careless decisions and suicide tends to be something a lot of guys lean towards. And I don't agree, but I understand. I guess I have empathy for those who have addiction. And I would ask that if you have an addiction, just know where that addiction can take you and find help as soon as possible. I'm never okay with suicide. I'm never okay with someone taking their own life. I also think it is, I can tell you to call me when you're having a hard time, but that time you do call me, I feel like, hopefully I can help. Sometimes I feel like I'm not helping, but I think when someone is ready to do it, they do it. I think it's one of those things, like I've learned not to stress myself on it as much and not feel so to blame, because I am an open book. I am easily accessible, and my friends who have taken their lives choose not to reach out to me. It's because they're in their world and they're dealing with their battle, and I don't think they wanted to reach out at the time. I think they made their decision, but I think those decisions, like I said, I think it roots from several things. I think drinking's one. I think finances is another. And if any of you know, man, any of you know, finances can be the biggest fucking bitch, man. That can put me on edge, man. That could put me on edge. Being in a financial bind is one of the most stressful things. And I find myself sometimes reaching out to people just out of stress and not sure what the heck to do, right? Not looking for an answer, just need to get it off my chest. And so I understand that. I do have resources for that can try and help with that. So if you guys have issues with finances, let me know. If you guys have issues with addiction, let me know. If I can find help for you, I will. If you guys are having relationship issues, oh my God. I understand that more than you even know. Me and my wife have a very, very, very awesome relationship, and this is not going towards her at all. I'm just saying I've been in bad situations. I've been in uncomfortable situations. I've been divorced twice. I've been in unhealthy relationships, like unhealthy. And I don't publicize it. I don't talk about it. I don't do any of that. But I can tell you, I can find resources. Or at least you're not alone. And I know that could be a big reason for some guys, kind of crossing that line. And so, those to me are the three biggest I could think of is relationship issues, financial issues, and addiction issues. And I think those three are big, big, big reasons that what we need to focus on as individuals to try and make sure that, one, we're making the right steps for ourselves. We can't control what other people do, but we can control ourselves. And that's addiction. You need to find help, man. Addiction is not something you can cure on your own. You can fight it on your own. It's something that you really will need help, and it's a constant, everyday, 24/7 struggle you'll have for the rest of your life. That's real addiction. And then you have financial issues. Obviously, we all need work and help on our finances. There's very few people out there that have their head wrapped around it, and those people, they're usually willing to show you what to do to help with your finances, and it's up to you if are you willing to take it, and finances can put you in such a bind, it is uncomfortable. And then the relationship issues. So I think those are the three big issues. I think those are the three big issues and why a lot of guys and men and women find their demise in taking their own life, because they struggle in one or all three of those areas. And so I ask you, if you look in the mirror and you see yourself as one of those, seek help. Seek resources and how you can fix that, how you can help yourself. That's part of that self-aid message I put on my Instagram and Facebook. You really got to help yourself. You really do. You really have to take the time to help yourself. And I've said it before, you can lead a veteran to counseling, but will he take it or she? It's like, I offer my hand out to a lot of people, but a lot of people, they're stubborn. And not even that, as you give them an answer and they don't want to use it, And so I hope that you guys start really evaluating your own lives and seeing where you can fix it and where you can work on, and then you can start helping other people with theirs. At the same time, I hope that you guys have really strong relationships with your kids and very, very open communication with your kids. Teach them. You be the one to teach them about the birds and the bees. You be the one to teach them about puberty. You be the one to teach them about the little hairs that are growing on their balls. Everything. The uncomfortable conversations, yes, they're uncomfortable, but man, they should hear from you as their mentor, as their leader, as their father, as their mother. You should be the one person in that house. You are their human encyclopedia. You are their human Google. And if you guys don't know the answer, then Google it with them and make that a family thing, because understand that they look up to you, and if you're not there to provide mentorship, then what are you doing? All right, y'all, just a quick little frustrating rants. Yeah. You guys have a good day.
I did it.